So I will start with the first slide where you see how that thing is called. We call that the Mathematics Informatics Station, about the topic of mathematics and computer science. And I'll talk you briefly about kind of what it is, why we do that, how it's been developed, and also what we have prepared for you, because we also have something for you. All right, so now you see a bit of a picture here. This was actually from our first exhibition in 2014. After the first HLF had been happening. And this was an exhibition that we had with the group Imaginary through the eyes of mathematics. And this happened actually not all the year. This was a specially exhibition, but only short term in summer. So I'll just see here. So this additional mission that we had for the HLF, the outreach part, was there from the beginning, from 2013 on. Outreach to the general public. And I probably don't need to tell you why outreach is important. It's very clear that mathematics and computer science are important. I mean, other topics certainly too, physiology and so on. But for us particularly, we want to emphasize that this is important for us and for the society. It's important to get young people interested in these fields. Now, you've all come into these fields, mathematics, computer science, but we need more people. There's a lot of things that need to be dealt with, and we need more people interested and not be afraid maybe of taking a career or starting a career in these fields. Already early on in primary school or later or earlier. And of course, we also want to explain what happens at the HLF, because I mean, the HLF is a great thing, but not everybody can participate, and most people will also not follow the live stream, some will. So it's necessary to also tell people what exciting things happen, what we can learn about research, different topics. And now already in 2013, we started from the HLF Film Festival, which was back then running. And a year later, in 2014, a short-term exhibition like the one I showed you happened for about 4 weeks in a close-by location. This was, at the beginning, not attached to the HLF. And then something happened in 2017. For various reasons, we got the chance to actually get rooms, rent rooms, at the old Heidelberg printing company showrooms, and from that times on we started a new, let's call, project that the mains, or in German we say Mainz, the Mathematics Informatics Station, where we can also during the year bring mathematics and computer science closer to people. We have exhibitions running all through the year, and we have many school classes coming there during the weeks, on the weekends, all interested people of all ages, groups, seniors to very young ones, coming and dealing with exhibitions, learning how fascinating these fields can be or are. Now you see a bit of a picture how interesting this can be. We have many exhibits there for various topics. And I already told you that we have exhibitions throughout the year. Until August, we had a great exhibition about a fascinating world of mirrors, about mirrors and symmetries, a great thing in terms of mathematics. We will have now from October on an exhibition about Leonardo da Vinci, about ingenious ideas, about his curiosity about the nature. We also have additional exhibitions running. We have the 10-minute museum on mathematics of climate change that was also featured last year in the HLF. Because that also gives a mathematical view on the importance of mathematics on climate science. We have women in mathematics as a very important topic, and also we have the photo gallery of the Masters of Abstraction that you know from the book, that obviously makes a very strong link to the HLF and the laureates. We also have the film festival still running now from the beginning, from 2013 on, running every year in November. And we do additional projects like the events are called Science Notes, which talk about different scientific topics in the format like 5 times 15 minutes, where researchers talk about their current research. These are kind of public talks and events that we offer for the general public, for any interested people. And for the year, we'll probably have something like about 10,000 of visitors in the exhibition and for the events. All right, now this picture gives you a little overview of the activities that we're doing during the year. Like you see the exhibition where we had ACM A.M about artificial intelligence, the film festival. Here there's also on the bottom left the picture from the Senate Hall that we have again this year. So this gives you an impression of that, and also an impression of the wide variety of topics that we have and in the exhibitions in the past 9 years, from the beginning to the current day with various, again, topics. Okay, and now for the end, I'm going to end with telling you a bit about what we have prepared for you, and not just telling about what we do somewhere else at other times, but here at the Senate Hall. So this exhibition is running now parallel. We started yesterday, and it'll be running until Thursday. So you still have plenty of time, I hope, in the breaks or whenever you find the time to get there. It's just across the University Square. And again, running until Thursday. And for this year, where the HLF is turning the 10th HLF, we have something like well, we thought we'd look back to the past years. What topics did we have? So we put together a selection of the past exhibitions. So we're not following one strict topic like we had last year about artificial intelligence, but we go through various topics that have the artificial intelligence. We have Lala Lab, the mathematics of music that we had also in previous years. We had like the exhibition from 2015, Mathematics of Planet Earth, that was not happening here at the HLF, with also very interesting exhibits, stations here. And from other projects, there's a science fair by the Klaus Tschira Foundation called Explore Science that's happening in the close city of Mannheim, where 10,000s of kids are going in that year and explore different topics of science, and where we're also participating in that. So we also have some stations from that. So I hope I sparked a bit of interest in you to get to the exhibition. I'll be very happy to receive you there and explain the different topics to you, interesting things to discuss. Thank you very much for your attention. And I will now continue directly to my next speaker, because we're still in the exhibition part, which is Demian Goos, who was once a young researcher here, 2017, I think, and later on, as a mathematician, he started great work as a communicator and will tell us about the Science Art Project. Thank you.
Hello, how are you? Welcome everybody, and I'm here to talk about the Pop Science exhibition, which is an exhibition that we're having here in this very building. You can go downstairs on the second floor, it's there, go check it out. But now I will tell you a little bit about this. So the first point I would say is, what's this? It's an art exhibition, yeah? The pop in pop science refers to pop art, yeah? So like one on the Warhol style. And it is an exhibition that is part of a bigger project, which is called the Intercultural Science Art Project that I started some years ago here at the HLF, which invites young researchers participating at the HLF to create artworks inspired by their own research, depicting their own research in an artistic fashion, you could say. And there are two main problems that we are attacking with this exhibition. The first one, communication. So I think this first part we can all understand. Here an explanation. So this is a depiction of Demian, a young little foolish Demian when he was a young PhD student, trying to explain his research to his friends and family. And it didn't go well. And of course, we scientists have a very particular way of speaking, explaining, talking, and the non-scientific part of our community does not like that very much, unfortunately. So what to do was my next question. I want to share what I do with my friends. And well, ketchup is one of the applications of my research when I was a young researcher. So I said, everybody knows ketchup. We've been all to McDonald's and stuff. So I gave it a go and said, well, guys, I do ketchup. Yeah? So I explained ketchup, and of course the reactions were more happy. Yeah, everybody liked that, and everybody was having fun. Why? Because pictures, images are a far more easy way to connect with science, with people, and so on. And so that is the first idea. Let's explain our research with images, with arts. There is just a stronger emotional connection between an observer and an artwork compared to my foolish explanations from earlier on. So that's the first problem. The second problem was relevance. So most of us here in the room did a PhD, have a PhD, have been doing research, and the PhD is the fundamental part of our scientific journey. But it's just like the very beginning, and the most important contributions we make are usually just like later on in our career. And that's the problem with that is that what we do during our PhD time is forgotten. It's not so important, but we learn a lot during our part as young researchers, as PhD students. And for instance, here an example. So this is an actual artwork from one of the young researchers from Danilo Gregorin, who is a Brazilian mathematician who works on elliptic PDEs and the solutions of those problems. And he compared the weak solutions he works with a jigsaw puzzle. He said, well, it's just like solving a puzzle without actually solving it entirely, just up to the last piece. So it was a comparison, but that comparison gave place to one question, yeah? When did we successfully finish a task? Which is like the essence of working with weak solutions. But that question is a question that everybody can get behind. So everybody understands that question, not only scientists. So the idea was then, well, why don't we focus on stuff like that? Lessons we learned during our PhD time that you don't have to be a scientist to understand. So now, to come back to the exhibition, you will have artworks created by young researchers here who not only explain their own research in an artistic fashion, but also propose questions, share questions that the young researchers ask themselves during their research and that are connected to the artwork itself. And the last question here would be, what do we do with the arts? We are no artists, we are scientists, so how can we be artistic? So I gave the young researchers a crash course on art. Here, some questions, sorry. So how do we find inspiration, and what percentage of our lives do we spend indoors are questions that you can find on this exhibition. And the question, how can we learn, how can we express this now with by artistic means? I gave the young researchers a crash course on pop art with Andy Warhol as a lead. Here are some examples. So first, Andy Warhol tells us, go for pop cultural references. So in his case, he went for Mickey Mouse. Why? Because everybody likes that. So people can connect with that far more easily. When do we have on the right-hand side two artworks from this exhibition where we have just like young researchers following that advice. Andy Warhol tells us, go for icons and celebrities. And again, we have two artworks that follow that advice. On the right-hand side, we have a young researcher emulating the Keith Haring art style, and then another one with famous celebrities from Africa. And then, what does Andy Warhol tell us? He tells us, go for simple things. Nothing too complicated, just counterintuitive for scientists. But yeah, we have artworks with donuts, and we have memes. Everybody likes memes, so everybody can get behind memes. And the final advice we get from Andy Warhol is talk about social issues, stuff that is relevant to people, not only to us. So in his case, he went for endangered species, And in the artwork exhibition, you will find artworks that address socially important questions. And finally, from my side, I told the young researchers, share your culture, because it's very authentic and people enjoy it very much. So we have an artwork, the blue one, emulating the chicha art from Peru. We have another example with an artwork which tells the tale of the Bodhidharma. And finally, we have on the right-hand side, a very beautiful way of greeting your beloved family in Indonesia. I would say on a final note, there is a booklet about this exhibition. Go check it out. You will have there, just like the classical approach to an art catalog with a description of the artwork. And then we have on the right-hand side, on the bottom part, a description of the artist. And then a small article on the top part that I wrote about the question, the socially relevant question. And all those texts I wrote are just like my approach to the question, what would it look like if pop art was today a literary movement? How would we write texts if we would write them on a pop art way? So I hope you enjoy it. First and foremost, thank you very much to the HLF for supporting this project over all these years, from day one, and to the young researchers who participated in this project. And I have to say, it is no easy task as a scientist to explain your research with an artwork. So I would say, let's give those young researchers a bit of love and applause for the young researchers.